Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This looks quite a promising rack. Is there a bingo here? And there is. I have anti-man. There may be an anagram, but this is going to score the most. Anti-man for 74. Wow, fantastic. Could easily have back-to-back bingos here. This is a very promising rack. I can't see any sevens, but I've got a good choice of floaters at the moment. So probably the consonants are the more promising. This rack plus an N. Immersion. Wow. And there are two N's in anti-man. They could both be blocked, but that would be pretty unlucky. So how about a bingo through the T? Well, quite a bingo-y set of tiles. But I'm not seeing a bingo. And the only other consonant to consider is the M. And I have memories. Wow. Memories and memorize. And that play gets doubled, as would immersion in column 14, but the column 14 play opens access to column 15, so memories definitely a better play. Of course, opponent could scupper all of those with a 4 or 5 letter overlapping play. So how about the vowels? Do I have something through the A? Not seeing anything. The I doesn't look useful. And that's it for vowels. So I wait upon my opponent. I did start a match just before this, and opponent requested an adjournment and clearly wasn't going to play any more moves, so unfortunately that was adjourned. Now, memories blocked, immersion blocked here, immersion available in column 9. But before I rush in and play this, do I have something through PI? Not that I can see. How about UM? Not that I can see. BA? No. And wow, immersion's going to place an E in the middle of row A. That's pretty scary stuff. Does immersion have an anagram? Not that I can see. So, immersion for, wow, just 62 points. Not bad. Through an O, I would have duathlon. No O's available. Wow, fantastic bingo by my opponent, 194 points. And I'm wondering if I have unhalted through the E. No, I don't. That's a shame. Does it have an anagram? Well, I guess unlathed. The only other candidate word, and that's not good. Wow, look at that bingo. Not even using a blank. And I opened with 2 back-to-back bingos, and I trailed by a bingo. And I'm just looking around to see if I have a floater, to see if I have a bingo, quite a few useful floaters. I guess un is the obvious prefix, and I've exhausted that. So I need to get rid of H and U, possibly the D. So my H can go underneath BA. DUH doesn't play. That looks slightly unbalanced. If I draw any of these consonants, I'm unlikely to bingo. I'd quite like to leave the floaters in immersion alone, since I'm behind. I'm just looking at these 2-letter sets in case I have a bingo through them. Not seeing anything. Well, I'm thinking about playing Horde. 23 points, and I don't like that rack leave, so I must be able to do better. So what about playing Hun? 24 points. I have the T for Bart. It's not giving a huge amount away. I'm going with this. Great, that looks good. I think Lanated is good, and that plays in row I. And that's quite a disguised bingo lane, I think, with all these juicy floaters in immersion. I think if I was ahead and trying to hold on to my lead, I'd be inclined to play vertically in column 8. Now, do I have... Wow, fantastic bingo by my opponent. I don't think law rated is good. Otherwise, I would have a really nice play in column 1. Opponent goes in the spot that I was hoping to play. Ada not good. So Lanated doesn't play around or rated. Do I have a bingo through one of these many floaters on the board? And I trail by 120 points. Let me first definitely rule out Lanated. Yep, that doesn't play anywhere. So, what about the E? Or I guess the M to start with, nothing. E? No, how about the R? Well, that looks promising, but I'm not seeing anything. How about the S? Again, that looks like there could be something there, but I'm not seeing it. Certainly a pretty crucial time to overlook a bingo if there is one. So how about this rack plus another A? Not seeing anything, plus a U. Gosh, that looks like there could be something there. I'm not seeing it. The R I've considered, as with the A. How about the T? Wow, what a frustrating situation. I feel that there could be a bingo here, but I don't want to. Ah, what about Eastland? This may not be good. And it is fantastic. And I'm rewarded with this fabulous rack. I can sort it out with Filii, if there's somewhere to play that. And again, AD thwarting me. It doesn't take the vowels that I have. I trail by 60. Just nowhere on this board for Filii, or certainly not that I've seen. and opponent doesn't provide anywhere. So I can't play off 3 eyes. Can I play off 2? And I'm also looking around for F or K spots. And also any floating L's on the board for filly. Not seeing anything. I really am inclined to change here, which is incredibly frustrating when you're 90 points behind. Filk is good, but I'm not seeing anywhere for that. I'm changing. And I'm going to change the lot. I don't think there's anything worth hanging on to. I draw S's. U and W not so great, so I don't think there's a bingo with this rack. Close to sawdust. I'd like to get rid of the W and the U, and I can do that with was or with woods. My W can go underneath the A, or, but that retains the U. However, splitting up W and U, certainly a priority. Playing them both, a bonus. Opponent goes in that spot, but only scores 17 points. Just wondering if I've got a Q play in column 1. Can't stick an S in front of the Q. Not seeing anything. What it does mean is that I don't have to burn the U. Well, I was thinking about playing saw, but that interferes with the E, which is a useful floater. I could play wad. So wad for 28, decent score. $31, but interfering with the E. However, look at this, row D and row F, really good bingo lanes. Let me pause. My W can go in front of AI. Not seeing anything good there, not seeing anything good down from the end. Still 39 tiles and both blanks to come and a wide open board. I think I will play door up here. EW not quite in the dictionary yet, have to wait until July. So wad for 28. And look at this, no more U's to come. Just looking initially with the Q, and I'm not seeing a play down from that, which is a shame. Is there a bingo here? So what about the floating T? I have the out prefix. Out roses, out saws, not good. Do I have estrus? Yes, I do. Wow. So I do have a bingo through the T. That could easily be blocked. Could be blocked by a bingo with 2 blanks to come. Is there any other bingo? How about through the R? Not seeing anything. Well, quite a few places for my opponent to play. The T, not an obvious tile to block. Mind you, I had a similar view when I was eyeing up Lenated. And I'm in trouble with this rack if I can't bingo. But I can. Fantastic. And only 22 points for my opponent. Let me just check that I do have Estrus. I do. 62 points. And I don't think I have any alternative bingos, so I'm going with this. I dodged those blanks, they're still out there. However, I only trail by 40, so I'm still in the game. A lot of big tiles on this rack. Can I get a big score with them? Always nice to get 40 or 50 points with the Z. So I have Yes in column 10 for over 40. I would have Woozy through the O, and bearing in mind that I may need to bingo, I'd quite like to clear out as much of this rack as possible. So playing off Y, W and Z, YWZ in one go would be pretty useful. And Woozy would score 40 points. Estrus has taken out row F, but row D remains available for a 7-letter bingo. I think a bingo now for my opponent would probably be enough for him. Just 24 tiles in the bag. So the end of the game approaching. So I've seen Woozy, I've seen Yes. Not seeing anything else that's particularly fabulous. I guess Oh Yes would play. Still 3 O's to come, so quite good burning one. "12 minutes on my opponent's clock. And my opponent's last mover, pickier, he was turning over 5 tiles, so it could easily have drawn a blank. Could have drawn both of them. Now, what about this playing vertically in column 5? I have a Z for going in front of the O, so I could play ZO, but I think that's the limit of what I can achieve there. How about a play in row M? Not seeing anything. I don't have to play the Z, but bearing in mind that I trail, I think I need to maximise my chances of bingoing as well as scoring well. I'm close to QWERTY in column 1. Well, I have some of the tiles for QWERTY. I would need an R and a T, which are available, but not on my rack. Now, opponent burns 1 blank for only 40 points. That's slightly ominous. Suggests he may well have the other blank. What it does mean, though, is that Woozy is playable for 40 points. I could play it 1 square to the left, but I think this is... Well, I was going to say I think this is better, but it invites... But it's not. It's not. Because it invited a play sticking a vowel between the Z and the X and getting doubled. And that's type of spot far more useful for my opponent than for me. So, Woozy for 40. 40 points. No blank. So, again, supports us. My fears that it is on my opponent's rack. However, look at this, floating E still in the open, 7-letter bingo lane still available. This S not available, so Zurich has killed the bottom of the board, and it wouldn't take much for my opponent to kill the top. 16 tiles in the bag, And I trail by 40, but I've got a couple of good scoring tiles. The opponent may be tempted to bingo himself, especially if he's got the blank, so may sacrifice points to do so. And maybe I can create a new bingo lane in column 1 by playing across row H. My K can go above AI, my Y can go above the U, T can go above AI, not seeing anything there, and column 4 quite useful with the R at the end. So can I develop the bottom of the board? Still one S and one blank to come, but neither is on my rack. So I could play IC, which takes an S and a Y, but I do at least have the Y. I suspect there could be some 8s with this rack, but not with the floaters that are available. Just wondering if I've got a play in column 4, which gets rid of K and Y. Well, there goes the second blank, 50 points for my opponent. So he's now got a 90-point lead, just 12 tiles in the bag. And he's almost certainly got a J play if I don't play in column 1. And the best I can see is Geal, which keeps KY. But if opponent plays in column 1, he'll be leaving bingo lanes alone. He'll be creating new bingo lanes. So if I play off Ki or Kai, my rack leaves pretty good. Let me check the remaining vowels. 7 out of 19. So I could play Icky, which would be interesting because it creates a big lane in row O. So if opponent does play through the J for 40 or 50 points, well, row O is available. And I've got the L for an LY ending word. It doesn't feel great, just 6 minutes on my clock. What is the right thing to do here? And I don't really like the rack leave of Telly. 2 L's, 2 T's to come. I could play Tick. Opponent's certainly not sure to have the S. May suspect I do have the S. Tick taking S and Y, so may block it for a low score. But this is only 10 points. 6 minutes on my clock. I feel I need to score as well as sort this rack out. So what about a play in column 12? Do I have a play which gets my K or Y doubled? Wow, I'm not sure I do, which is frustrating. I can play like in that spot. For 22 points. 12 tiles in the bag, 5 minutes on my clock. Well, I'm just wondering about playing Yelk. 17 points, a half decent score, horrible Rackley, don't like that. And I need to play fairly quickly because I'm just going to run out of time. Don't like that. I think I'm going to go with this. $14 points, keeping the L back. I'm going to keep the T back as well. I'm going with Icky. Can't see anything onto the Y. Through an A, I would have leaflets and fillets. Gosh, so close. I think Festali is good. And I could play Fleetly, but that's not a bingo. I've got Gel. Nine tiles in the bag. 51 points for my opponent. Now I've drawn the last S. 3 tiles in the bag. And I trail by 120, so this game is lost. 3 minutes on my clock. Just looking around in case I have a bingo. So which 2 tiles to play off? Probably F and L. Is there anywhere to do that? Just fill would do the job. And I don't want to obstruct bingo lanes. Yeah, these are definitely the 2 tiles to play off. Double L is very non-bingo-y, and the F is a bad bingo tile. My opponents could easily have a J play, but I think I minimise my losing spread by playing this and bingoing. So I'm going with Phil. Now, wow, that's close. I have slow tree through the R, but the R's in the wrong spot. And I'm not seeing anything else. So expecting my opponent to play something down through the J. What a shame with this really nice bingo lane in row D. Not often to have 7-letter lanes available at the end of a game. And also in column 5, but I have too many vowels. Two minutes on my clock. Opponent likely to go out in 2, except 1 tile in the bag, so may not. I've got Joel in column 1. And opponent now has got Log, so he's got Clog. Does he have a second out? He has Goal in column 5. Not seeing anywhere else, so maybe I should play to block that. Two minutes on my clock. I think it's going to be very hard to block this without providing my opponent with an opportunity. And let's have a go. Pretty hopeless if I can't go out myself. I think I do best by scoring well. I'm going with Joel for 33, which does at least take me over the 400 mark. So opponent's got a couple of outs I can see in the top left. May have something elsewhere. Yep. And the final score, 410 to me, 546 to my opponent, a winning margin of 136 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. So it was me to go fast, and I had anti-man, and it looks like that was the only bingo. Not a nice rack for my opponent. He plays pub. Wow, there were choices here. There was a 7, Isomere. Immersion's what I played. Tiresome available, H10. Well, that does the same thing, sticking an E in the middle of a bingo, a triple word square lane. So it looks like Isomere was the play. Yeah. And I didn't play that. What I did play was Immersion. And now opponent has this incredible play. Reinvade, nearly 200 points for a single play. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And that put him 70 or 80 points in the lead. My rack. No bingo here. F12 Dahl, that's quite nice. What did I do? I played Hun for 24, which is sort of in the mix in terms of score. And does burn the U, so I'm okay with that. Opponent bingos with all rated, which was a good spot. Now, did I miss a bingo? No, because I played Eastland. And what was also available, F3, was Dentalia through the eye. Fortunately, I spotted Eastland in time, and I trail by 60. Opponent plays Boap, and I have this horror show, Tiki H10. Yeah, possibly worth doing, FIIL, but I think changing is also a reasonable thing to do. Opponent plays Chi, and now I have this rack, which has potential. No bingo. I play Ward for 28. Doors, C11. Okay. But I don't like burning that extra S when it's the only consonant I have. So I'm happy with my play. Opponent plays Pigia. And now I have Estrus, which was the only bingo. So at this point I trail by about 40. And look at that, opponent played Pigia and picked both blanks. Plays Xeric for a 70 or 80 point lead. And I play Woozy for 40. What does opponent do here? Plays Jive for 50, which was a nice play. And I'm now 90 points behind with no blanks in the bag. And I spent a while on this play. Well, I don't like Why Like because it takes out so many bingo lanes. And I don't particularly like Icky either, but I still think it may have been my winningest option. Wow, Fitchy available, but Thrifty pretty good as well. Wow, there it was, a bingo here. It wouldn't have been enough, but Fellest was playable in 2 spots. Wow. So I could have got 80 points, 4-5-1, trailing by 40. It wouldn't have been enough, but it would have been more respectable. And it's always frustrating to miss a bingo. So I think I did something slightly less scoring here with Phil for 6, trying to maximise my bingo prospects, but there was a bingo available. Opponent plays Kanua, and I played Joel for 33. And opponent goes out with Log. So, what a game, absolutely amazing. We don't often have triples, and even rarer to have one scoring up towards 200 points, far more common to have them in the 130 region. So absolutely fantastic to have a triple in the game. Sadly for my opponent and not for me, but that's just the way things go. So quite a wide open game, as you can see, tiles spread out to almost all four corners of the board. And I think this game brings up number 800 in the series, so thank you very much for your support of this channel. In particular, thank you to my patrons who helped to finance the channel and the many costs involved in running it. I am hugely grateful to all of you for your contributions. And thanks also to everyone who watches the video, clicks like and leaves comments. Always glad to read them, and I think other people are as well. It helps to build a community around the channel. And although this channel is 800 videos old, it's still pretty unique in terms of what it offers, and Scrabble still has a small footprint on the internet. So I'd like to keep this channel running, and I thank you for all your support in enabling me to do so. So I hope you have enjoyed this game, and I will see you next time.